You do not need to quit your job to start your coaching business. You do not need a perfect website. You do not need 10,000 followers. And you definitely do not need to record 50 courses before finding your first client. What you need is one valuable problem that you can solve, one clear offer, and a small number of meaningful conversations. In this video, I will show you a practical 5-step roadmap to start your coaching business while protecting your salary, your family responsibilities, and peace of mind. And stay with me until the fourth step because that is where most experienced professionals make their biggest mistake. Hello, I am Pradeep Ghosh, founder of Solutions Salespreneur Hub. I help experienced mid career professionals to turn their knowledge into a coaching or a consulting business and build a predictable pipeline using ethical sales systems. This video is especially for you if you are between 35 and 50 and have years of valuable professional experience but feel uncertain about where to begin. By end of this video, you will know how to number 1 identify the expertise people may pay you for. Number 2 choose a specific audience and problem. Number 3 create a simple starter offer. Number 4 validate that offer before building a course. And number 5 start your client conversations without sounding pushy. I will also give you a simple career to coach readiness scorecard that you can use to elevate your next move. Let us begin with the question almost every experienced professional asks. Don't start with what should I teach? Most people begin by asking what should I teach? That is usually the wrong question. The better question is what meaningful problems can I already help someone solve? Your expertise is not only what appears in your job title, it may be your ability to manage difficult teams, improve sales performance, conduct interviews, handle projects, build financial discipline, communicate with senior leadership, solve operational problems, or navigate career transition. You may consider these skills ordinary because you have been using them for years. But what feels ordinary to you may be extremely valuable to someone who is struggling with it for the first time. For example, in a two column comparison, if your left column represents what I know and your right column represents what problem it solves, then, for example, you say, I know sales, it is too broad. But if you say, I help first time consultants conduct sales conversations without sounding pushy, is much clearer. I know human resources is too broad again, but if you say I help mid level managers prepare for leadership roles, here is your first exercise. Write down three questions. What problems do colleagues repeatedly ask me to solve? What difficult what results have I created more than once? And the final question: what difficult situations have I personally learned to overcome? Your starting opportunity is often hidden inside the overlap of those answers. But expertise alone is not enough. The next step determines whether your knowledge becomes a business or remains an interesting hobby. Step 2: choose a person and a problem. A coaching business becomes easier to understand when it serves a recognizable person with a recognizable problem. Compare these two statements. I help people become successful. That could mean almost anything. Now consider this: I help mid career technology professionals prepare for their first leadership role. The second statement immediately tells us who the person is, what transitions they are making, and what results they want. You do not need to serve only one category of persons forever, but while starting, focus creates clarity, and clarity creates conversation. Use the simple sentence: I help fill in the blanks overcome fill in the blanks so they can achieve fill in the blanks. For example, I help experienced working professionals overcome fear of selling and lack of a client acquisition system so that they can start a coaching or a consulting business. Notice that this is not about finding a clever sentence for your social media bio. It is about making your value understandable. If someone cannot understand whom you help and what problem you solve, within a few seconds, they are unlikely to remember you or refer you. Pause this video for a moment and write your first rough version. You do not try to make it perfect because version 1 is always better than version none. Clarity improves through conversations and not through endless thinking. Let's understand step 3: create a starter offer. Once you know the person and the problem, create a small offer designed to produce one meaningful result. Your first offer does not need 12 modules, a mobile application, lifetime access, and 20 bonuses. It need only 4 things. 1. A specific outcome. 2. A clear duration. 3. A simple process. 4. Direct implementations. For example, you may say, in 4 weeks, I will help you to clarify your coaching niche, build your starter offer, and begin your first 10 potential client conversations. That is easier to understand than I provide transformation, confidence, and personal growth. The more measurable and visible the result, the easier it is for someone to evaluate the offer. Your starter offer may be delivered through 4 weekly one to one sessions, a small live group interaction, or a workshop followed by implementation calls, or a consulting sprint. Start with the simplest format that allows you to work closely with the client. At this stage, proximity to the client is more valuable than automation because you need to hear their words, You need to observe where they are stuck, getting stuck. You need to understand what produces the result. That information will later help you to build a stronger course, curriculum, or community. Now, let's see the step 4, validate before you build. This is the step I asked you to stay for, and it is where many talented professionals lose 3 to 6 months. They create the logo, they build the website, they record the lessons, they design certificates, they create social media pages, and after completing all that work, they finally ask, will anyone pay for this? That question must come first. Validation means gathering evidence that a specific person wants help solving a specific problem. It does not mean asking your friends, do you like my business idea? Most friends will encourage you because they care about you. That's it. That is not the same as buying intent. Instead, speak to 10 people who resemble your intended audience and ask them, what is the biggest challenge you are facing in this area? What have you already tried? Why has the problem not been solved yet? What is this problem costing you at the moment? What kind of support could make your implementation easier? Do not begin by pitching the package. Begin by understanding the problem. After several conversations, look for repeated language. If six people describe the same frustration in similar words, you may have found an important problem. Then invite one or two suitable people into a pilot offer. You might say, based on what you have shared, I am developing a 4-week implementation program to help professionals just like you to solve this problem. Would you be open to seeing how it works? That is ethical. You are not manipulating anyone. You are offering a relevant next step based on a problem they have already expressed. Now you may be thinking, Pradeep, where will I find these 10 people? That brings us to step 5. Step 5 talks about start with conversations, not content. Your first clients do not necessarily require a large audience. They may already exist within your extended professional network. Look at your former colleagues, professional associations you may be part of, LinkedIn connections you have, your past clients, friends who work in your target industry, and different WhatsApp communities, and people who regularly ask for advice. The goal is not to message everyone with a pitch. The goal is to identify relevant people and start useful conversations. Here is a simple message. Hi, I am speaking with experienced professionals who are considering a transition into coaching or consulting. I am trying to understand the challenges they face while getting started. Would you be open to a short 15-minute conversation? This is for research, not a sales pitch. Only use the words not a sales pitch when it genuinely is not a sales pitch. During the conversation, listen more than you speak. After you have understood the problem and created an appropriate pilot offer, your future invitations can become more direct. For example, from what you have shared, it seems the biggest difficulty is turning your experience into a clear offer and finding the first few clients. That is exactly what my pilot program is designed to support. Would you like me to explain the structure? This is a permission based invitation. You are not cornering the person, you are allowing them to decide. Let me bring the complete roadmap together. Stage 1 is validation. Keep your job and validate the person, problem, and offer. Stage 2 is traction. Acquire your first clients, improve your process, and build consistent monthly revenue. Stage 3 is transition. Consider leaving your employment only when you have enough evidence, savings, systems, and emotional readiness. Do not resign because you had one difficult week at work. Do not resign because you watched a motivational video. Do not resign because someone promised that passion alone will replace your income. Your transition should be driven by evidence. Consider questions such as: do I have sufficient savings? Have people paid for my solution? Can I consistently generate conversations? Have I delivered results more than once? Does my family understand the plan? Can the business cover a meaningful percentage of my monthly expense? There is no universal number that works for everyone. Your responsibilities, risk tolerance, and financial positions are personal to you. The goal is not to delay your dream, the goal is to protect it from unnecessary pressure. Here is what I want you to do over the next 7 days. Day 1: list 5 problems you know how to solve. Day 2: select one audience you understand well. Day 3: write your I help statement. Day 4: design a simple pilot outcome. Day 5: identify 10 relevant contacts. Day 6: invite 3 of them to research conversations. Day 7: review what you have learned and refine your offer. Do not measure success only by whether somebody immediately buys or not. Measure whether your understanding of the customer becomes clearer. Clarity is an asset. Every meaningful conversation strengthens it. To help you take the next step, I have created a career to coach readiness scorecard. It will help you to evaluate your expertise, niche clarity, offer readiness, financial preparation, and ability to begin client conversations. You can download it using the link in the description. The purpose is not to prove that you are ready to resign. The purpose is to identify the safest and the most practical next step in the transition. And when you are ready to build a complete system for turning your expertise into a predictable client pipeline. Register for my Ethical Salespreneur Masterclass. In the masterclass, I will show you how to sell without feeling pushy, build a repeatable client acquisition system, and begin thinking like a salespreneur rather than waiting for perfect conditions. The registration link is below. In the next video, I will help you to answer another important questions. Should you start as a coach, a consultant, or a combination of both? Choosing the wrong model can make your offer unnecessarily difficult to sell. Subscribe and watch the video next. Remember, your experience already has value. Now it is time to organize that value into a result someone can understand, trust, and pay for. I will see you in the next video.